Dear scholars, let us start learning the poem The Plate of Gold. Here we have the first stanza. One day there fell a great Benares temple court, a wondrous plate of gold, whereon these words were read to him who loved the best, a gift from heaven. What is these lines about? In these lines, it is mentioned by the poet that once upon a time, one day, in the temple court of Benares, a wonderful plate of gold fell. On that plate, some words were written. What were those words? To him who loved best, a gift from heaven. So what is it about? That is, whatever plate of gold fell in that court, it was the gift from heaven to the person who loved best. Here, loved best means one who loves God most. So, the plate of gold was the gift from heaven to the person who loves God most. What is next? Let us see. Thereat, the priests made proclamation at the midday hour. Each day let those assemble who for virtue deem their right to heaven's gift the best, and we will hear the deeds of mercy done and so adjudge. So, in the court of Benares, that is that temple court, whatever priests were there, they made a proclamation. What is proclamation? That is a public statement, announcement. So, it was the announcement about the plate of gold. The priest made proclamation. At the midday hour, each day, let those assemble who for virtue deem. Here, the word deem means consider or regard. So, according to that announcement or proclamation, so midday hour, that is the period of afternoon, each day was given for the people to assemble and show or prove the virtue, the merit, to consider that the gift was for him. Their right to heaven's gift, the best, and we will hear the deeds of mercy done and so adjudge. Here, the word adjudge means consider and declare. So, according to the proclamation, it is the proclamation. According to it, the people who were willing to show the right on that gift, they were allowed to come or to assemble in that temple court in the afternoon and prove that or show up their deeds of mercy, and accordingly the priest will adjudge, will consider and declare that the gift was for that person only. So, as this proclamation or public statement made, what happened further? It is given in the next stanza. The news. What news? That is the news of proclamation. The news ran swift as light, and soon from every quarter came nobles and munshis, hermits, scholars, holy men, and all renowned for gracious or for splendid deeds. Meanwhile the priest in solemn council sat and heard what each had done to merit base the gift of heaven. So for a year the claimants came and went. So when the proclamation was made, The news of that proclamation just ran swift as light. That is what it spread everywhere. And soon from every quarter came. Here, the word quarter means corner. So, from every corner of the city, the people came. What people came over there? That is here, nobles and munshis, hermits, scholars, holy men, and all renowned for gracious and splendid deeds. So all these type of people assembled, gathered over there to prove their right on that plate of gold. Here, the word renowned means well known or famous. So the people who were nobles, who were munshis, hermits, scholars, who were holy men, as well as who were well known for their splendid deeds, great work, gracious work, these types of all people assemble in the court, temple court. What is further? Meanwhile, the priests in solemn council sat and heard. Here the word solemn means serious. So the priests who were looking after this work, they all sat and heard. Seriously, they were in that council and they heard. What they heard? That is here, what each had done to merit best the gift of heaven. That is what all of them were just observing how the people coming over there trying to prove their merit, trying to prove their claim on that plate of gold. So for a year the claimants came and went. Claimants, those who stayed the right to get something. So whatever people came over there to prove their claim on that plate of gold, they came and went. So it was going on for a year, but none of them could prove his or her claim on that plate of gold. What happened further? Let us see. At last, after a patient weighing of the worth of all, the priest bestowed the plate of gold on one who seemed the largest lover of the race, whose whole estate within the year had been parted among the poor. This man, all trembling with his joy, advanced to take the golden plate when lo, at his finger's first touch, it changed to the basest lead. All stood aghast, but when the hapless claimant dropped it clanging on the floor, heaven's garden was again transformed to shining gold. So after a year, lot of time was already spent, and the priest had another idea. What was that? It is here in this stanza. At last, after a patient weighing of the worth of all. So patiently the priests were waiting. They were just observing who would claim that the plate of gold belongs to him or her. So it was the wait for a year. What happened further? The priest bestowed the plate of gold on one who seemed. Here the word bestowed means presented as a gift. The priest presented as a gift the plate of gold on one who seemed. They were observing, they were thinking for, or they were looking for that right person. According to the new proclamation, the largest lover of the race. Here the word race means mankind. So the person who is largest lover of mankind and whose whole estate within the year had been parted among the poor. Parted, distributed. So the priests were saying that the person who have Part 8, who have distributed his whole estate among the poor within the year, such a person would be the right claimant for this plate of gold. Then this man, all trembling with his joy, advanced to take the golden plate when low. So they got such a person, and when he came to know about the plate of gold, he was just trembling with joy because he had distributed his estate property among the poor. So when the person came over there, what happened? At his fingers first touch, it changed to basis lead. So the plate of gold changed to lead. Then all stood aghast. Here the word aghast means shocked or horrified. Seeing that the plate of gold changed into the lead, all the people observing this in that court, they all were shocked, aghast, seeing that. But when the hapless claimant dropped it cleansing on the floor, here the word hapless means unfortunate. So the unfortunate claimant, unlucky claimant who had left that plate, at that time he dropped it down cleansing on the floor. Cleansing it, which is loud ringing sound. As the plate falls on the floor, what type of sound it makes? That is called as cleansing. So the plate of gold was dropped on the floor, which was making the sound, ringing sound, that is cleansing. Heaven's garden was again transformed to the shining gold. Here the word garden means reward, gift. So the plate of gold, which had turned into the lead after the touch of that hapless, unlucky claimant, when it was dropped down on the floor, that plate of gold again transformed, again changed into the shining gold. So this is all about all these 4 stanzas. I hope you all will understand the given explanation. Further part of the poem we will see through the next video.